today we have the Brazilian Expo, a Brazilian chef to tell us about what they have in the Expo, as well as to showcase some Brazilian cuisine that many of you would like to try out. At least now we know what I'll be having for lunch. Welcome to the show, Paulo Machado. I hope I had that right.
Liz, yes.
All right, let's start off with your cuisine. Is it really very popular in Kenya?
Yeah, well, actually I find here that there are a few restaurants for Brazilian cuisine. We have this meat that we serve that is called churrasco, that is very popular all over the world. But now I'm here to present more things that we have. We have the churrasco, and also we have many other things, and also link with the African culture.
All right. We have a display here, and I'm sure everyone is wondering what's inside. It's not food, because I'd probably have started eating it, but just if you can just explain to us what are some of the things here.
Of course, here I put some of the ingredients that we use a lot in Brazil. These three came from the same origin, from an ingredient that you have here that is called cassava, or in Portuguese, mandioca. Mandioca, yes. Right. Or manioc, as you can say also. And Liz, these three products, you can do different things with it. This one you can add to a meat stock, and you have transparent pearls like this, and the taste is very nice. This is called polvilho de tapioca, and also you can make a bread for cheese that we call pão de queijo. This is the black beans we use for feijoada, a national dish, and these two are subproducts of corn, yellow corn that you use a lot in Brazil. This special one you can taste if you want is chocolate that we use in a dessert, a Brazilian dessert called brigadeiro, that is very popular now worldwide.
Okay, brigadeiro.
Yes.
All right, let's start off with, I know the food industry makes lots of money, millions of money, because people need to eat. Yeah. What are you looking into in this expo?
Well, I was invited by the Brazil embassy to come to Africa, to come to Kenya, and tell to the Nairobi people that visit us at the Expo what we have between the link of Africa and Brazil. Because we have a culture in Brazil for food that's called cozinha afro-brasileira.
So it's
Afro-Brazilian food.
Oh, all right. It's how does the Afro-Brazilian work? Is it you mix African food with Brazilian food?
Techniques of African food, that means from the west part of Africa, that are the Africans that went to Brazil 500 years ago, and also some ingredients like okra, for an example, was taken to Brazil. Also, there are ingredients that came to Africa and used here as the cassava. The cassava is an American ingredient, an ingredient from Brazil, from the biome of the Amazon. It comes from the American continent. And this ingredient is very much used here in Africa too. I can see that in Kenya is also a population ingredient, the cassava. But you can also do very, very good things, fine things with those ingredients. That's I'm doing in the hotel every night in the hotel downtown. I do a presentation of Brazilian Afro cuisine.
All right. In terms of the expo, you are exposing the kind of Brazilian foods that are prepared. Are you also training maybe Kenyan chefs of the Brazilian foods?
That's one thing that I'm doing here at the Ellison Hotel. The staff of the hotel has several chefs. In fact, there is one chef from the hotel today that is doing a big food buffet for the president today. But yesterday he was with me and he was looking how I season the fish and how I do the technique of, for an example, the bobó de camarão or acarajé. Those are Afro-Brazilian food. Yeah, the bobó, I have a picture here in this book for you if you want to see. And he learned how to do this, and I really want him to do this again, because you have the ingredients, and once you learn these techniques, you can do here in Kenya.
All right, how has the reception been since you started this expo? Lots of people coming to taste the food?
Well, Liz, I have to tell you, I'm having a wonderful reception. It's really amazing. I'm really glad to be here. The expo is very well organized, and also the people here is very, very kind. I really see that everybody is very curious about what we have, about the ingredients. Since the airport, since when we arrived, I heard Brazilian music when I arrived. I don't know how come, but yes, there was. And everybody loves my country here, and it's very, very happy for me to be here and to talk about my country, about my culture and my passion, that is our gastronomy, our cuisine.
All right, I know most Kenyans know Brazil is popular because of football.
Yes.
Yeah, so besides football, we are seeing food, and you had mentioned something to do with Afro-Brazilian cuisines, yeah,
Yes.
which are in Brazil.
Yes.
What kind of African, do you have like restaurants that have completely African food, and what kind of food do they have?
Yes. Well, São Paulo, the city where I live, has restaurants from everywhere in the world you can find. But what we have from the most influence is the African influence mixed, as we say, a melting pot with the native Brazilian people that were there, we call Indians, and also the Portuguese culture for food. The mixing, the blend of these three different distinct cultures makes our food. And all over Brazil you can find food that you have the influence by African, even in the ingredient or maybe in a way to do, and also the saint cuisine, the cuisine that we call comida de santo. Of course, this cuisine is more in northeast area of Brazil, in the state of Bahia, at the city at Salvador.
All right, getting back to the expo, I know this is an international expo. We have lots of countries involved. We have Turkey, India, Kenya, and of course Brazil. How do they benefit you and the trade between all the respective countries?
Yes. Well, as I told you, I was invited by the Brazil embassy to be here. Me and also my pastry chef, Thiago Betim. We are here doing the food festival in the hotel and also the presentation here. But we really hope that we can bring these chefs from Kenya to Brazil. That's something we are already talking with the embassy and to the people here. And I'm pretty sure you can do a Kenyan festival in Brazil in a short time. They'll be very glad to have.
So I'm sure it will be justified to call it there's food tourism that can happen, yeah?
Yes, sure.
In terms of trade between the two countries, if you are aware, how has it been over the years? Because I know it's quite a little has been told about it.
Well, yes, what I can see here, for an example, for this expo, you have more than 80 business that are representing Brazil in several ways. You have, for an example, the milk industry. You have, for an example, knives. This is more for food, represented here. And I think the trade is amazing because you can have people visiting, coming, watching what is good, and taking for the country new things and things that you already have here, some enterprise.
All right, what was the main objective of probably showcasing some of this Brazilian cuisines? Okay. What was the main objective? I know besides training and besides people sampling, is it also to promote the trade between the two countries?
Yes, and to promote a very, very basic thing that we have this concern in Brazil, and you have this concern here in Africa, that is the education, the cultural education. Once you understand the ingredients you have, like let's say the cassava, that is a basic ingredient. Once you understand the education of that for the food, for the health, you will be able to use. So we are here, the chefs that are here representing these ingredients are here to teach the people how to use, how to make, and why is this so good for the health and for the taste, for the flavor.
I know people love food, and besides food, of course, let's look at the deeper issues, say maybe culture, because I know you incept a lot of cultural aspects when you're making your different kind of foods. Do you explain that to people? And what are some of your Brazilian cultures? Because it's not every day we have a Brazilian chef on the show.
Well, as you said, I mean, I am a teacher in a university in Santos, in São Paulo state. I also teach history. So that's when I do practical cuisine teaching, that I also do, I try to tell to my students, listen guys, you need to study, you need to know what is going on, and then you can use the ingredient, and then you can know the origin. Why is that for, and how can you use that? So in my presentation here, you see there are videos, there is music, Brazilian music that is so popular worldwide, and also brings you the thinking about what I'm going to do, what I'm going to move myself to do my food.
All right, in terms of recipe books, can you tell us more about that? Because we have one sampled here.
Yes,
already.
sure. This book is amazing, has recipes from all Brazil. It's from Caloca Fernandes, a Brazilian writer and researcher. This is a gift that I bring for you
wow.
from the embassy, from Brazilian embassy. It has several recipes and also a little bit of our culture, and that melting pot that I told you about, Portuguese, African, and Native American, that makes our cuisine.
All right, what about your culture? There's something you had mentioned earlier about the cultural aspects that you do have, for example, for tourism and some of these ingredients. I know we have black beans, we have cassava.
Yeah.
Do you import some of these things from Africa, Kenya to be specific?
Well, I can tell you for sure. From Kenya, we got the best vanilla, you know? One of the best vanillas ever, but we can import this. Also, you have a very, very, very fine ingredient that I appreciate a lot in Brazil is cafe. The very good cafe. Also, the teas are amazing. And I'm pretty sure expo like this, that we chefs become to know these ingredients. We also will talk about them in Brazil. And this exchange is very important for the countries and for the economic and everything.
All right, let's talk about the economy in Brazil. How is it looking?
Mm-hmm. Well, I can tell you that now Brazil is a country that is in deep development, and what I see that is very, very nice about my country now is that is a country that everybody wants to know about. Once you are there, you see that we still need a lot of infrastructure, especially talking about transportation for the big cities. We have the problem every big city has in the world, right? A lot of traffic and cars every day. The city I live, it's crazy. But what I figure is that our politicians, our government are figuring a way to do the best for us, and the economy even develop more.
Let's talk about tourism. I know there's this, which we kind of ties on the show, food tourism.
Yes,
yeah,
sure. It's a great subject, tourism. In fact, when you arrive in Bahia, you gain a Baiana or a Baiano, the people that are born in Bahia, they will give this to you. This is a gift, a souvenir gift from the Senhor do Bonfim. And this is how you do. The first time I will wrap like this, and then you make one wish, okay? Now you do a second wish. It's very important, okay?
All right.
Now you do the third and last wish. When this falls apart, your wish will come true.
I hope it does,
Welcome
Paulo.
to Brazil.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We really do appreciate having you on the show. It's fantastic. I hope people do come to sample this food here at KICC.